Alright everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we'll be doing something different, not something that I normally do on the channel. I'll be doing a bit of a sit down and talking with you on all the recent stuff that's going on at the Saints. Obviously, I do go for the Saints, as you guys are probably aware, but if you don't know that already, well there you go. That's sort of why I'm doing this video. I don't normally do this sort of style of video, but obviously with what has happened recently at the Saints, with the massive news, I'll go over it now I guess. Ratton getting sacked on the Thursday night. Well, it was a shock to everyone, really. It was announced on a Thursday night, like at 10:30, like the most random time. It was like the last thing I was expecting. I was on like the Bit of Footy stream, preparing to go to the airport the next day in the morning, getting an early night. Really wasn't expecting anything like that to happen. It was such a shock. Someone said in the stream, I'm like, oh yeah, piss off, mate. You're just trolling. Check socials, and lo and behold, it occurred, and I'm like, what the hell? It was extremely unexpected, considering that earlier this season, he signed a 2-year contract extension, so I thought at least, for the very least, he was going to at least carry on his contract for next year. And I thought, like, I think the decision is quite harsh, to be honest. Like, I think we probably should have let him coach for another year. I know we didn't see any improvement in the last 2 seasons. We had really disappointing seasons, and it's probably as a result of Ratton, and especially this season. Especially, we start 8-3, not even failing to make finals. Just the way we play, we just weren't able to play out games. We lacked effort, competitiveness. We ended up finishing the season with a percentage of less than 100. So that's just really telling of how we finished the season. But I still feel like Ratton was probably unfairly done with the sacking. I know it was made by the board as part of the review and all that, but if it was me making the decision, I probably would have had him coach for another year if we didn't see any development or improvement in the performances, and I guess not making finals, and that probably would have told me, yeah, I think we should part ways. And of course, as expected, a lot of the media outlets are criticising the Saints, saying, oh, they're a shambles, what's going on with the Saints? I've gone through Instagram, and that's all I'm looking at. Like, every single post that's got anything to do with St Kilda, all the comments are, the Saints are a nothing club, a joke for the club. It doesn't really make me want to go on social media that often. I'm sort of tuning out of it now because I don't really want to see that sort of stuff, considering I go for the Saints. You know, especially after signing on his contract. I think it was after the Carlton game. Like, it was just way too early. Wait until the end of the year. Or do it. If you want to do it when we're 8-3. But we just had 2 shocking games against the Swans and the Bombers. I just didn't think it was a good time. It just didn't feel right. And obviously, it came back to bite them. Obviously, at the end of it, coming to sack Ratton. And at a very late time, I haven't really... To be honest with you, I don't remember the last time that a sacking of a coach has occurred this late into the season, and just so unexpectedly, not even just for the Saints. But I've been looking more into it over the last 3 or 4 days, you know, having a bit of time to just soak it in. It's probably the right call. I guess it's a bit too early to tell. We'll find out, I guess, 1 or 2 years into the future if it was or not. But in terms of changing the direction of the club, change needs to occur. The Saints have been a club who have essentially accepted mediocrity, not really pursuing anything and just being satisfied with what they have at the moment, not really taking big, bold decisions or risks. So this is certainly a big, bold decision, big, bold risk. And obviously, as a result of the sacking, there are many people discussing potential candidates for a St Kilda coach. You know, you look at the media, you look at all the articles, and for the first time in quite a while, the Saints are actually relevant in the media, but probably not for the right reasons, considering we just sacked our coach. The candidates, we've got Lenny Hayes, who is coming back to the club, which I'm very excited about. Like, that's one of the very few things that have actually brought me a bit of excitement leading into the new season. Robert Harvey as well as a possible candidate. Adam Uze, who, you know, has had a lot of experience in other coaching roles before in the past, could possibly be a candidate. There are also other possible coaching candidates that are probably not going to happen, such as, you know, Don Pike or Leon Cameron. I swear, if we, for whatever reason, end up getting one of those 2 candidates, I will be so pissed off, to be honest. But the obvious candidate that I think everyone here expects to most likely occur, and the one that I think will occur and probably want to occur the most, is Ross Lyon. And the more that I've looked into it, the more that I am probably going to be content with the decision, just based on all of the reasons I discuss. However, with a coach like Ross Lyon, there are obviously going to be those supporters and those who are against the decision. You know, I see a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, Ross is the man. He's going to be the one to take us in the right direction. And then other supporters I've seen on social media, you know, oh, if we sign Ross Lyon, I'm going to cancel my St Kilda membership. Like, that's a load of crap. If you're going to be doing that just because of who we sign on as a coach, that just goes to show you don't have much loyalty to your side, to be honest. Like, you've got to show your full support regardless. And even if the Saints decided, you know what, as St Kilda head coach for 2023, we're signing Shannon Humphries, I wouldn't cancel my membership. I would be incredibly pissed off and questioning everything that's going on at the club. But I'm not going to cancel my membership over that. And I just feel like, yeah, someone like a Ross Lyon, he certainly can develop players really well. He was, you know, did that during 07 and 11. We saw heaps of success, obviously no premiership glory, but we were taken to 2 grand finals. Still think we should have won 2010 and 2009, but you can talk about it 12 years later on. Nothing's going to change the past. People do like to talk about, Ross Lyon being really boring with his defensive game plan, and that is a fair enough argument. I don't really want to be the Saints to be the side that's not very interesting to watch, the side that's just too boring, doesn't score enough, and just is an unattractive game style of footy. But that was ages ago since he last coached Freo. He's obviously got to shift his game plan a little bit. But to be honest with you, I don't really give a crap how we play under Ross Lyon or whoever we coach. As long as we see success, wins, finals, ultimately premierships, that's all that matters. To be honest, I couldn't care less how we play. I'd rather score 30 and win by a point than score 160 but lose every week. Like, obviously that's not going to happen, but you know what I mean. And I think after the past coaches that we've had, the Saints, at least with Richardson and Scott Waters and even Radden to a certain extent, I think we probably need an established coach, one that's a bit harsh, a bit stern on the plays. And previous coaches like Ratton and Richardson, they've been a little bit too nice and lenient. I've had a read, and apparently, if, we do end up getting Ross Lyon at the club, there's a chance that we could get a few other big name Saints during that 09 to 10 era, such as Stephen Milne or Lee Montagnier at the club. And I think that's a pretty good thing, something to be excited about, especially upcoming for our 150th anniversary, as well as, obviously getting Lenny Hayes at the club as well. So yeah, that's sort of my take on the whole Brett Ratton's sack situation and who I think will be the next coach. I probably think it'll be Ross Lyon, and if there are any other candidates out there that I didn't touch on, well, I highly doubt they'll actually end up being the coach, but I think probably Lyon at the moment. But it's quick to forget that the trade period ended on the Wednesday, but that has not been the topic of discussion for the Saints for sure. But I do want to quickly address that topic as well, especially considering a lot of people on my live streams have been asking, Cardi, what are your thoughts on the Saints trade period? And I wasn't very happy with it. I think we were definitely, I'd say, one of the big, not losers, but we didn't make any advancements into our list. If anything, we probably weakened our list, considering we had a few retirees and only gained Zane Cordy and got rid of Long, who I still certainly believe that Long is a better player. Cordy, what's he going to bring? At best, replacement player if one of our key defenders is down. That's all we're going to get out of him. I was really hoping for the Saints to make, some big plays and, land some big fish, possibly to go. I know we're looking into him. But even make a play for some other players who are alright, such as Griffin Logue. Jack Bowes, we didn't even make an offer at him. Like, yeah, we might not get him, but at least make a bit of a commitment. But yeah, we were just way too conservative that trade period, and we didn't make really any plays to bolster our list, which we were just accepting of what we already had, and that just goes to show that we accept mediocrity in a way. But I don't know, we'll see what happens during the draft. I think that's definitely something that we've been shit at, like, over the last 15 years, the way we've been drafting. Like, I saw something, I'll put up on screen, like the last 12 years of St Kilda drafting, and all our top 40 draft prospects, majority of them have ended up being spuds. You look at 2014, we got Paddy McCartan, pick 2 was Christian Petrarca, and then I think we could have gotten Bontempelli, we got Billings instead. There are many other instances of times where we just screwed up in the draft, obviously, and yes, now Paddy McCartan's playing good footy at the Swans, but we don't have him on our list, and we didn't really get anything for it. So, yeah, we just don't have a very good culture at the club at the moment. No one's really talking about us in a positive sense. A lot of people are predicting the Saints to finish quite low on the ladder. Like, I don't see a single person predict us to finish in the top 8. And to be honest with you, I don't blame you. I wouldn't have them in my top 8 as well. For all those people ask me, do you think the Saints are going to be making finals next year? It's very hard to say I think we will. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be biased and put on my one-eyed St Kilda glass and go, oh, we've got the list capable of winning a premiership. We'll finish top 4, I reckon. I don't see that happening at all. Our list isn't as bad as people make it out to be, but it's certainly not a top 8 list, I don't think, at the moment. And yeah, I don't see us making finals. We could. It's a hard one, honestly. Like, I don't know. But with the sacking of a coach comes a bit of optimism, but obviously not everything's going to work out whenever you get a new coach, and it always doesn't turn out the way you want it to. But there's always optimism with a new coach, so it brings a little bit more optimism for Saints fans. But yeah, I don't know. That's sort of my take on it. Hopefully, yeah, we see something next year for our 150th as a Saints fan, because we've been starved of bloody success, haven't we? Only one flag in however many years we've been in the competition. But anyways, yeah, that is it for the video. I thought I'd just quickly sit down and talk with you guys one-on-one. I haven't done a video like this before, I don't think so. Something a little bit new to you guys. Hopefully you found it interesting, you enjoyed it. If you want to comment down below any of your thoughts on the whole situation, who do you think the Saints' next coach will be? Who's the leading candidate? Who you guys reckon, or where you guys reckon the Saints will finish on the ladder next season. All of that sort of stuff you can chuck down below in the comments. As well as that, let me know any video ideas you have in mind, possibly, considering it's the off-season, so that's sort of why I made this video, considering there was nothing else to talk about. And yeah, I might live stream later tonight, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, cheers everyone for watching, and we'll see you soon.